Hey guys, it's Annie, welcome back to my channel, and today's video is of course my September 2021 Plan With Me video, and I'm so excited for you guys to see this one because I am in love with this theme and how it turned out, and I loved playing around with all the new materials, but of course I will get more into that in a bit. But without further ado, be sure to like, subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell for more bullet journaling, wellness and inspirational content from me, and let's get right on to the video. So hey guys, as you can see, this month's theme is mushrooms, and I thought it was really fitting to kind of get into the autumn fall vibe, just to start off this season with a really cute seasonal theme, I guess. So I started off drawing these cute mushrooms in fine liner. I kind of initially drew a circle with my compass and then based the design inside of that circle to make it kind of look more like put together, and then I sketched out all the mushrooms I wanted to draw a pencil before filming, just so I could kind of get the composition right and everything, so I knew exactly what I was doing when going in with fine liner, just because that's how I like to do my bullet journal, and that's what works for me. But obviously if you want to go straight in with the fine liner or straight in with the watercolour, you can do that as well if that's what works for you. I prefer to do it in pencil first. So I started off by drawing with a really thin fine liner. I used size 01 with my Uni pin, I think it's called fine liner, but of course I will have them linked down below as usual. So I started sketching them out. I got loads of different mushroom illustration and doodle ideas from Pinterest. So I have a Pinterest board which is private just because I have all of my YouTube video inspiration on there, so I don't want to spoil all my videos by having that board public. But I will link down below some of the pins I especially used for some of these spreads and the illustrations. But I finished drawing all of the details in fine liner. I drew the basic design of the mushrooms and then added like some of the polka dots and some of the extra shading designs and everything like that. And then I went in with different kind of shades of like autumny colours. The main one I used was red, of course, that's the mushroom colour. But then I also had some kind of like brown tones and some like orangey and some mustard colours, which I also think did really add to the theme and did give some variety to all of the doodles I did, just because mushrooms are also those colours, I think. And I thought it would just be really cute. So now that I've finished just filling in some of the details for my watercolours, just to add a little pop of colour into the mushrooms, I am just lettering September underneath. Of course, that is the month we are going into, using my Tombow Fudanowski hard tip brush pen. That is the one I always use in my bullet journal. My absolute favourite go-to brush pen, I would highly recommend it, is of course linked down below, as I said. And now moving on to my quote page, I kept a super simple quote that I got from Pinterest, of course. It says, "Be in love with your life, every minute of it. Sometimes we just need that little reminder." And then underneath I did another cute little I did 3 mushrooms. I did like one main one and then 2 kind of 3 ones on like each side of it, just kind of add to the look. But I took a while sketching this out and figuring out the composition of it and like where things should go. But just so you guys can see my thought process on that, because most of the stuff I will go into is kind of pre-sketched out, so I know what I'm going to do. But this one I decided to just show you guys what I like think about when I'm trying to just put the illustration and doodle in its place, I guess. I don't know if that makes sense, but hopefully you get the idea of what I'm talking about. So of course I did the fine liner sketch and then just went in with watercolor to add some of the colors. And after I had finished this spread, I added some more details in my white pen, mainly just going in with like the little polka dots and some of the mushrooms and making them more white, because it was quite time consuming to go around them in watercolor. So yeah. So now, of course, I'm moving on to my usual monthly calendar layout over a double spread. So at first, I just lettered September using that kind of same font and same pen as I did in the cover page. And then I measured out the grid before, and I just went over it in this grey mild liner. I like to go over them in grey sometimes because I feel like lots of the doodles are very heavy on the fine liner, so I decided to go with a grey like grid because it just adds and makes it more minimal and unique than with fine liner, just because I don't want to go too over the top with fine liner and put focus on the doodles. I've done this a few times before and I really liked how it looks, so I thought I'd just replicate it for this month. Then I went and did the headers with my same brush pen for each day of the week, and then on the side I drew out a left space and drew out my YouTube and Instagram growth trackers. Those just help me keep track of like how it's going to that month and how I can improve, I guess. Next, I kind of in the next clip I went and sketched out like all of the different mushrooms. I did that off camera and then skipped to that in this clip, as you can see. Then I filled in the YouTube and Instagram growth trackers with watercolor and then went ahead with the doodles. So now that my calendar and my cover page are done, I'm moving on to my habit and mood trackers. Of course, these are my favorite spreads to create and fill in, especially the mood tracker, because I feel like you can do loads of different types and they look really cute after they are filled in, which I absolutely love, because most of the time I do it in terms of color coding and it just looks really, really lovely and colorful once they are filled in. I usually will post how my habit tracker looks so far in that month, depending on when I post it on Instagram, but you will see that over on my Instagram, along with more high quality photos of all of these spreads I'm showing you today. So be sure to follow me on there. It is Hey It's Annie. It is of course linked down below. So in terms of my habit tracker, I decided to only track 6 habits this month, which is kind of unusual because I usually track like 12-ish, because that's the amount of space I have on the spread, but I decided to keep this one minimal, and I feel like I want to focus more on these habits than the other ones. The other ones are kind of just extras that I fill in because they have more room. So I feel like these are the ones I want to focus on. I think that's going to be more beneficial for me. So I did those 6 habits with the usual grid layout. Then I did the headers. I did the header like background in watercolor, which I thought looked really cute. And then I did a little mushroom doodle on the bottom. So as you can see, I'm drawing loads and loads of mushrooms for my mood tracker. I drew exactly 30 mushrooms, one for each day of the week, day of the month, I mean, of course. Just I did of course sketch out the composition in pencil before, just so I knew like which mushrooms were overlapping and how I could do it without making any mistakes when I did it in fine liner, just because I did the same as I did in the cover page, and I thought I just needed to kind of sketch it out. But I did loads and loads of different mushrooms again, and I think it looks so cute. This is one of my favourite spreads from this month's setup, and I'm really excited to see how it looks after it has been filled in. After I had finished sketching them all out, I went in and did all the details, and then I drew numbers for each of the mushrooms just next to it, so I knew which day of the month, I keep saying that, which day of the month I'm going to be colouring which mushroom in. And then underneath I just did a little key in my watercolour pencils. So I think I'll be filling these in with watercolour pencils, just so that if I want to, I don't really have to, but if I want to at the end of the month add that watercolour effect, I can go in and go over with like water and a brush just to make it look like the watercolour effect. But I think if I'm happy with how it looks in pencil, I won't need to do that, but you will see how it turns out in probably my end of year flip through or my end of month flip through, which I will do on my Instagram reels. But yeah. So now these two spreads, nothing really much has changed. It's kind of the same layout as I do every single month for quite a while now. It is just my usual sleep, steps and screen time tracker on the left hand side of the page, and then on the other page I've got my exercise tracker as usual. That's kind of the usual layout I do every month. So this shouldn't really be new to you guys if you are a returning subscriber. If not, then of course hit the subscribe button, because you will be seeing the spreads even more with different colours and layouts. And yeah, so stay tuned for that. And I just drew the usual layout. So the one on the far left is the sleep, and then I have another little graph kind of laid underneath, which is steps per hour, and screen time. And once these are filled in, they do look so cute. So be sure to stick around for when you see them filled in, I guess, or look at past months, because they're probably going to be pretty similar. And then for my exercise, I just have a key for the different muscles or kind of workout I'm doing, and then I will just fill it in terms of how many minutes of that kind of exercises I do. So now for my final two spreads, which are my content planner and my playlist. I have been doing my content planner for the past few months, and it has been so helpful with planning what days I'm going to post different things, I guess. And it's just been really helpful, so I decided, of course, to implement it again this month. Just because it's been really helpful. It's really minimal and simple spread with in terms of how it's laid out, but once it's just really useful, I guess, with helping me plan out my posts. So I did the calligraphy. I did the first time on underneath the piece of paper I stuck over the top. Wasn't that great. It wasn't that great. So I just went over, I stuck another piece of paper on top from the same notebook. I think it's probably when I've done a past Dutch door spread, I have those spare scraps of paper, which I keep in the back of my journal just in case something like this happens. So I just stuck that over the top and did the lettering again. It's not really a huge deal. I just try to make it look as normal as possible, I guess. So after I did this spread, I of course added another mushroom, and then on the other side, on the right of the page, I did my playlist. So I have quite a few songs this month actually, so I will tell you them now. It is The Summer of Love by Shawn Mendes and Taney. I love that song. Stay by The Kid Laroi and Justin Bieber. Visiting Hours by Ed Sheeran. Don't Go Yet by Camila Cabello. And then I've got loads of songs from Anne Marie's new album, including the collaboration with Little Mix. So I've got 3 songs from that album, which I absolutely love. Then I've got Take It Home by Mabel as well. And I love all of these songs, especially the ones from Anne Marie's album Therapy. I've been absolutely obsessed with that album. I really highly recommend you check it out. It is so good. And then all around that, I did some mushroom doodles and added a little Spotify symbol because I had loads of room. And yeah. So hey guys, I completely forgot to mention that as usual, you can check out my September 2021 playlist on Spotify, where I have all of these songs and more on Spotify. So if you want to listen, I have all of my Spotify link down below, and I have the link to the playlist as well down below if you'd like to check it out. Technically, this playlist is kind of my playlist for August because I'm setting this up in August, and it's all of the songs I've been listening to for the past month since my last Plan With Me video. but I like to call it my September because I will include it in my September setup, but I think you kind of get the idea. But anyways, if you'd like to listen to all of these songs and more, be sure to check out my Spotify playlist down below. I'd love it if you listen, and yeah. So hey guys, this is now time for the final flip through of this video, this setup. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I didn't include a weekly spread because I don't think there's really a reason. You will of course see on Instagram in a few days. But I really hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, be sure to like, subscribe to my channel, and hit the notification bell for more bullet journaling, wellness, and inspirational content from me. And stick around for more content like this, of course, and I will see you next time.